Chad Brendel on his Twitter feed, just a guy with a website, owner of BearcatJournal.com. Well, just a guy with the website is now a website that's about to be a part of a Power 5, Cincinnati back into a Power 5 Autonomy 5 type setup. Chad, I want to say this, if you don't mind. Chad has been kind of working stories, and yet again, how is your wife doing? I know she had some issues you had to deal with in the hospital.
So that's outstanding news. And for the first time since Saturday, they got her up out of bed and let her walk around a little bit today. So progress is happening, which is a very good thing. Well,
that's good. And tell her our thoughts are with her. And also thank you for joining us. It's been a week, as you know, and here we are. Chad, it's official. The Big 12 in Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, and Brigham Young. What's it mean to Bearcat Nation?
I mean, it means everything. This is a university that kind of got left, wandering in the desert, back in 2013, 12, whenever, the Big East kind of went away. At least the Big East as we know it went away. And there was a lot of uncertainty over the years that there might not ever be an opportunity for them to get back in the club. So for this to arise now and finally give them a lifeline, I think you have to say between football and basketball, Cincinnati's done more with less than just about everybody in the country, if not everybody in the country. And to be back on equal footing and not, swimming upstream, trying to make it in a situation that wasn't built for you to succeed, it definitely feels good.
Chad, there's so many things with this. Look, there is no second big dog in Ohio, Power 5 wise. Now there is that, not that it's going to probably take too much of a chunk out of Ohio State, but it takes a little bit of a chunk out of them. And Cincinnati knows these waters. Are they pretty much ready to jump in right now and be competitive, especially if Luke Fickell now has even more incentive to stay?
Yeah, I think this team, it's going to be interesting. Because this has largely been done on the back where they're at right now as a football program has been done on the back of those first two recruiting classes Luke Fickell brought in 2017 and 2018. And a lot of those guys are going to be exhausting and what that looks like. But, it's funny. A lot of people think of it as Cincinnati and Ohio State when talking about, recruiting and things like that. Ohio State, the reality is they recruit nationally, but they take pretty much, they'll take the top 5 guys in Ohio every year. And Ohio's a talent-rich state. There's, 50, 60, Power 5 level players every year. Where this allows Cincinnati to win is it allows them to beat out Michigan State and Kentucky and Indiana and Purdue and West Virginia. It allows them an opportunity to win more of those battles. And that means the talent level still has room to continue rising for Cincinnati, which that's the exciting part.
How much of a long shot did this seem like maybe even a couple of years ago?
That's because there were always, we've had a running expansion thread on BearcatJournal.com since 2016. And it's active every day. It sits at the top of our board every day. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views, tens of thousands of posts. And people kept hope alive that there was going to eventually be a lifeline. As the proprietor, I wasn't as certain as they were a lot of the time. But, it always felt like when this next round of TV contracts came up that either there was going to be movement or the door was going to close. And, so that's like 2023 was kind of when everybody had circled as to whether this was going to happen or not, because it felt like that's when decisions were going to have to be made as negotiations began, as TV contracts were redone. nobody really saw. Obviously, you guys are in the same situation. When Texas and Oklahoma happened, everybody went back into hyperdrive. And John Cunningham talked about that today. He said he called Cincinnati's athletic director, said almost immediately, he called Bob Bowlesby and said, "Hey, how you doing? Let's talk."
Yeah. You got anything on your mind, Bob? You got, how's life, right?
It's pretty good right now. I mean, here's the thing: is running an independent site, like you guys know how this is. You're kind of at the whim of the winds of college athletics, and for a while there was a feeling like if nothing happens, or if whatever does happen leaves Cincinnati out again, like as a business owner, that we talked about this the last time I was on with you guys, like what does it mean? Mm-hmm. And to have that relieved, to not have to worry about that anymore, and to think more about, okay, now how do we, like, how big can we get? How much can we grow? How much is this going to change this fan base and their willingness and desire to be diehards, to take that step from casual fan to diehard? I think that's going to be the exciting part to watch leading into, they say 2024. We all agree this is going to be sooner than that, right?
Yeah. I think we all believe that as well. I think even Bob Bowlesby all but wanted to say it. Chad, let me ask you this. Right now, Cincinnati is part of that group of 5. I don't know what it is per year on their network, how much it is, 8, 10, 12, whatever it might be. But
7.
Okay. The more and more we dig into the grant of rights currently, and where it will be at the end of the current Big 12 grant of rights, which is $450 million for the 10 teams, which would have been an incredible number for a lot of teams. Not SEC, Big Ten money, never will be that.
Right.
But now what Bob Bowlesby said is that the value of Texas and Oklahoma would probably take 35% off the number. Well, a lot of people were looking at the number now, which is $409 million. At the end of the grant of rights, it's $450 million. So it's 35% off of that. If you start looking at that number, you're talking about what may not be 18 or 20 million or 22 to 24 million. It might be 28 to 30 million before it's all said and done. What would that mean to Cincinnati?
Well, and that's just TV money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not college playoff money. That's not NCAA tournament credit.
The Big 12 championship game.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes everything, I asked John Cunningham about it in the press conference today, and I thought he gave a great answer. I said, how does this change, future projects, like a future capital fund? One thing Luke Fickell has really have been pushing is an indoor practice facility. And John Cunningham said that makes this something we can start to attack right away, because we don't have to wonder where the money is going to come from now. Obviously, you still want to raise as much in booster funding as you possibly can. But now you're going to have the capital yourself. Now you're going to be able to do things like an indoor practice facility, maybe build a specific men's basketball practice facility, things like that need to continue to happen to continue to advance the program and where the program stands. Those are critical components. And to not have to worry about that nearly as much going forward is just massive for the growth, continued development of this football program. And things like that are how you're going to be able to keep Luke Fickell, right? To be able to do the projects that he's looking at and saying, we're going to need this. And if you can, make it quicker and make it happen faster, then you stand a better chance of keeping what I think everybody around the country would agree right now is one of the best coaches in America.
Are the fans excited about playing West Virginia again? I mean, that's an old Big East rival. And are you excited about seeing Huggy Bear again?
Look, make no mistake about this. Bob Huggins is in Cincinnati a lot. So I still see one of our sponsors, actually, our title sponsor for our podcast, just happens to be his favorite place to go in town.
Oh.
So he makes his way back to Cincinnati quite a bit. So seeing Hugs won't be a new thing around town. But the West Virginia thing, I think fans are really excited to have West Virginia come back to Nippert Stadium. I don't know if they're as excited to take that trip to West Virginia. It can be a little bit of a hostile environment if you guys have ever been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that really, I mean, if you look at the time that Cincinnati was in the Big East, them and West Virginia were the two best football programs. They each won 4 conference titles. Nobody else was close. I think the next closest was 2. So, it was a fun rivalry. The teams were evenly matched. The fan bases were close enough that there was some animosity that was, just instantly built in. And it's going to be exciting to be able to, that's the thing that the American really sapped from Cincinnati is rivalries. You had West Virginia, Pitt, and Louisville that were all a very short drive. And when those were gone, the closest school to Cincinnati in the American was Memphis. And Memphis is not close to Cincinnati. I can confirm that. I loved going to Memphis, but that's an 8-hour drive, 9-hour drive. Like that's significant if you're trying to make plans to go to road games.
You know what's interesting? Yeah, Chad, that's how far it is from like Dallas to Memphis. Is about that. Yeah. That's a haul right there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty good drive. Now I love Beale Street. Every time I thought the AAC tournament every year should have been in Memphis, the basketball tournament, because it was a great venue. And you walk out, I don't know if you've been to Beale Street.
I have.
You walk out of the arena and you're on Beale Street. Mm-hmm. So it was just such a fun event and fun place, but that wasn't, it didn't have really the animosity for it to be, a great rivalry. I did enjoy poking fun at Penny whenever he would come to town that in 1992, Memphis State at the time lost 4 times to Cincinnati, twice in the regular season, once in the conference tournament championship, and once in the Elite Eight when Cincinnati went to the Final Four in 1992. So Penny struggled against Cincinnati pretty mightily in his career. It was fun to mess with him about that. But having West Virginia, having Huggins come back into Fifth Third Arena, the newly remodeled, revamped Fifth Third Arena, and you guys need to come up and check out Nippert and Fifth Third Arena the first chance you get, because the work that they did to renovate those 2 facilities to make themselves attractive for this to happen is remarkable.
It's been an amazing week, an amazing day, and now everyone who's now a part of it, they still have work to do. Everyone has a lot of work to do. This needs to be a conference, and Chad, it hasn't always been this way. There have been, as even a former AD at UT used to say, we're the Joneses. There are some schools bigger. Some have more money. Some have better tradition. Some do this better. But the 12 teams that are going to be a part of the core of this Big 12, they can all want to beat the hell out of each other, not like each other, but they have to stay together, because otherwise it will this will be a waste of a lot of energy and emotions. And we welcome you, man. It's great to have you. Not me. We don't work for the Big 12. We cover it, but we welcome all 4 teams, excited about the fact that it's grown again.
Well, it's been great. I've really, really enjoyed my time being on with you guys. And I look forward to many, many more times down the road.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Go take care of Kelly. Thank you, Chad. Chad Brendel covers University of Cincinnati. And as he said, as a guy that owns a site, an independent site, this right here for him, it's from a site that's popular to a site now that's back involved in high-level college athletics. Man, the chat room keeps going. The text, I'm trying to return as many of those as possible. We're live at, again, Gopher Warrior Bowl. It's where the Grand Prairie schools play, a lot of them. And we have a game tonight at 6:30 Midway and South Grand Prairie, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kick. It's on 106.7